What's up? So, obviously, well, you can't tell, but yeah, I'm an outfit repeater. Sue me. Whoa. Can't freaking see anything. Excuse. Just excuse her. Okay, I have some venting to do right now because obviously I didn't do a whole big weekly vlog. So I'm sorry about that, and I didn't have time to record more last night. So yeah. On to my venting. Okay. So I just got this really creepy call, and it was from Texas, USA, and you know, those phone calls are like important, or they're marketing calls or something like that. And so I answered, and this Indian guy, I was just like, okay, this is totally like a corporation or something, because you know, corporations, they hire Indian people. Don't ask me why, I just know they do. And so in my laptop, which is a Microsoft Windows computer, he's like, I'm calling from Microsoft Windows, blah blah blah, because there's a virus and we kept sending you stuff to clean your computer. No, first he said that he sent them and asked me if I got them, and I said, and I wanted to make sure this was a real legit call, so I first told him, and I was like, no. And then he's like, oh, okay, well, we have been sending them to you, and so when we don't have a reply from you, we actually call you. So like right there made it sound more legit, like this is the actual Windows Microsoft Corporation calling me. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, yeah, so I'm gonna have you turn on your computer. And I was like, and I was not by my computer at this time. And so I was like, I'm not near my computer right now. And then he's like, oh, okay. Well, do you want me to hold, or do you want to call back in like 20 minutes or something? And I was like, could you just call me back in 20 minutes? And so, yada yada, went to my computer, because, you know, it sounded legit, and I was like, I do need to actually clean my computer, because it's getting all these stuff going on with it. It's sick right now.
It's in the hospital.
It's under the weather right now, so it needs some medicine. So I really thought cleaning it will make it better. So I went to my computer, or actually I should tell you, before I was turning it off last night, it started saying my internet stopped working when the internet was fine. So I was wondering why it kept shutting me out of this one webpage, which was, I was actually on Twitch TV hanging out with some friends on there, and I kept trying to like watch the stream, but it kept kicking me out. So I was like, what the heck? So I just stopped, because the internet has been acting weird lately with my computer, so I knew there's a virus on there, but I just never paid attention to it. So yeah, and then I was like turning it off, and then I closed the screen, but it forgot, or I didn't actually look at it, but I guess it was installing updates, but I didn't know that. Anyway, so I'm at my computer laptop waiting for the call to call me, and he calls me, and he started asking me, okay, so are you near your computer? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, okay, well, I need you to do this. And I was like, well, the screen is saying it's installing updates of 2 right now. It says not to shut off my computer, not to unplug it, blah blah blah. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then it was like quiet for a while, and then I forgot what other little stuff he was saying to me, but he was just like I can tell he didn't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time he was just like weird. He was creepy a little. And so he was like saying, is it still whatever, and I was like, yeah, it's still installing. And he's like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you sound like you're 12 or 14 years old. Or he said my name weird too, but I knew what he was trying to say. So I was like, no, I'm actually 20. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, and blah blah blah. And I was like, it's okay. And then it was still installing, so it was like quiet, and he's like, okay, Delisa, he was like, could does anybody else use your computer? And of course people do, but I don't tell people that. Like, why do you need to know that? I didn't want to give that much information because still I was a little iffy about it, so I didn't say anything. So I was just like, no, it's just me, I'm the owner of this laptop. And he's like, okay, well, he was like, is your parents home? And I was like, no. I was so like, what? Why do you need to know? But he asked that, and I was just like, oh my god. I mean, of course I'm not home alone. I'm independent, but I live with like my family. So, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't know if this was real or not. So, yeah, I just like, no. And then he's like, oh, so you're independent. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And then, I don't know, but in the background I could hear like people, like other Indians. And so I knew it was like The Office, so I knew he wasn't lying, but he sounded like a creeper at the same time. He's like, well, is there anybody else I can talk to? And I was like...
You're like, no. Is there anybody else I can talk to?
I know. I was like, no. What the hell? Like, no. And then he was all like, but you're not talking to me. And I was like... That's when I was like creeped out. Like, of course I can't say anything else. Come on now. I'm like waiting for my thing to update. What else do you want me to do? Like, does that make sense to you guys? No, it doesn't, because you can't just be like, can I talk to somebody else when I directly just told you that it's still updating? Like, this, no, it doesn't make sense. So I was just so confused right there and then. And then he was all like, what, you don't talk to strangers? Like, really creepy. Like, I can like picture this guy smiling while he said that. Like, that's how creepy it was. I'm not even joking. I imagined like some Indian dark person just said that to me smiling. Like, that's what I imagined when he said that. It was so creepy. And yeah, it was freaking creepy. And then he kept saying hello, like, but I hung up because I was just like, this is creepy. Like, you don't go asking a 20-year-old, can I talk to your parents about your computer? Like, does that sound right? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I was just creeped out, guys. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm freaking freaked out right now because after I hung up, he tried calling me 4 times. Isn't that weird? Has a corporation ever tried to redial 4 times to you? No, I do not think so. And that's like her life right now. She always snaps chats. Mm-hmm. She's like famous on there.
No, I'm not. People probably think I'm weird.
Whatever, you have people from other countries.
Oh, that's true. I have like a whole group of friends from Ireland. Shout out to my Ireland homies. The Irish. But yeah, I'm a terrorist. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have my fork, so I can't say I'm a cannibal. Rocky Road!